Show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. And Memphis is where we'll be going just moments from now, as the Grizzlies will be going up against the Sacramento Kings. Well, for Sacramento, they're not going in the direction they'd like to be going at this point of the season. They've started to fade, maybe some fatigue setting in now as the schedule becomes a little more strenuous. And as we reach the midway point, Kenny, still a lot of games left on the schedule. How do players cope with the wear and tear their bodies go through?
Well, a lot of times.
It's an all-Western Conference matchup, and today's game is the Kings coming to town for this one. Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. Back in Memphis, the Grizzlies tip off the beginning of a homestand. They're one of the most dangerous teams in the NBA right now. No question, they've won 7 of their last 8.
And Kevin, you know, to do it this early would really show you how successful this team's been this season.
Definitely. If they can lock it up with a good performance tonight, it would paint a perfect picture of their season thus far.
Let's take a look at our starters for Sacramento. We've got Rudy Gay, DeMarcus Cousins out there with Quincy Ace, and there's Collison, and it's Anderson in at the 2-guard spot. And he gets it to go. Now we know the Marc Gasol was one of the most sought-after free agents this past summer. Clark, all along, most figured he'd be back in Memphis.
Yep, a winning team, max dollars. And don't forget now, he went to high school in Memphis while his brother Powell played there. He's where he belongs.
Conley's shot is off. Here's Sacramento. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at him.
Marc Gasol, a first-time All-Star starter last season. He and his brother Powell both started in that game. The first time that's ever happened in league history, and having both those guys go head-to-head.
Conley against Collison. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Gay drives in, rejected by Gasol. And it's Memphis on the break. Conley's running. And Green with the basket on the assist by Conley.
Oh, listen, no doubt you could argue Marc Gasol is the best center in the league right now. I mean, this guy does it all. Defends, rebounds, passes, scores. I mean, he's also a great teammate. They all love him. And to me, that matters in the big picture. When you're talking about developing chemistry and trust, sometimes the difference between winning and winning it all is whether or not your teammates like it.
And Green gets it to go.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Collison kicks to AC. Will it go? And off the front iron, and in it goes.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Outside, Green. Gasol against Cousins. Out of bounds, Sacramento takes possession. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Yes, Sacramento's head coach and I were able to chat. On his mind, the difficult task of defending Zach Randolph. He said Randolph's especially tough because he's not only a go-to scorer on the low block and the pinch post, but also a guy who can pick up a lot of second chance points with his work on the glass. He's a 20 and 10 double-double guy for a reason. We'll have our hands full trying to slow him down. Guys, back to you.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. Now here's Collison. Following the miss by Zach Randolph. Gay kicks to Cousins. The shot, no good. Good work defensively by Gasol. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Back to Green. Conley against Cousins. Conley dishes to Gasol. Just 5 to shoot. Outside Green. Here's Conley. The Grizzlies with another miss. The Kings trail by 3. Here's Gay, and Gasol sends it back.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Conley with it, picked up by Collison. Randolph passes to Green. The Grizzlies with another miss. The Kings have gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Offensive rebound, AC, and the powerful one-handed slam.
And able to pad his stats a little bit there on that play, the board and the bucket.
And you know, Greg, that'll put him in the good graces of that coaching staff, too. My goodness.
Kevin and Greg, hard work on the offensive glass always does that. I mean, his fans will remember the dunk, but the coaches love the rebound.
A strong season from Darren Collison cut short last year. Greg shut down at the end of last February.
Yeah, he had that issue with his hip, and that kind of ended things for him in what had been a promising season. A shame, since he was having the best of his career today.
So timeout call here. The first for Memphis.
Collison was having a career year last year, guys. I mean, 16 points a game was a career high for him, and he also shot more threes than ever before.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Brandon Wright's checked in for Randolph. Barnes comes in for Green. Allen's checked in for Courtney Lee. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. Here's Udrich. Here's Gasol. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And I think even in the injury-shortened season, Collison showed he is still a starter in the NBA. Now, he's been used as a super sixth man in the past, but he's just as effective, I believe, at starting the game.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Sacramento.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Now here's Rondo. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. Here's Cauley Stein, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And Udrich kicks to Gasol. Rondo with it. 59 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The pass to Barnes. Now the dish to Gasol. And stolen by Cauley Stein. Here's Pondexter. Rejected by Gasol. Allen kicks to Barnes. He trains the quick shot. Barnes has got his first 2 points. The Kings trailing. Outside Rondo. No one near him. Second chance shot, and it's good on the layup. Perkins got his first bucket of the night.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Now here's Barnes. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Cauley Stein dishes to Rondo. Deep 2 from Pondexter. Off the left rim and out.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
It's a tie game in Memphis. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And for Memphis guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Just almost an intimidating factor when you're able to go out and consistently come up with the block shots like they have defensively.
Well, what happens is shooters begin to start looking for the shot blockers, and it does intimidate them.
On the court for the Kings as the second quarter gets underway. They've got Rajon Rondo, Quincy Acee out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Rudy Gay, and it's Collison in at the point. There's Lee with the three, and it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, you may not be as lucky next time down if you're the defense. You cannot allow him to get those kinds of looks. Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to. And you talk about momentum. That sort of action delivers a type of energy to your team that you just can't quantify.
You know what? I'm going to quantify it right now, Clark. And this is a close game, and that was something special.
And really,
good try.
In a game, you guys, in a game like this, though, when you have a chance to send a message, you do. And boy, did he ever on that play.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. And for three, Collison cannot hit. And the Grizzlies going the other way now. Fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
They just looked stable pretty much from the get-go, guys. I mean, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game that you don't see at home, but not the case in that one.
Tremendous balance on display, Greg. I mean, when you look at who was carrying the scoring load, making assists, playing unselfishly, I mean, they had it all working, and that led to the nice road win.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Going over some of the quickest players in the league, you think about Mike Conley and Clark. What sets him apart is that he's always under control, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, he takes great care of the basketball, uses the change of speed and hesitation moves to get where he wants to go, and he's masterful in getting into the lane and finishes with both hands.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first.
You know, Mike's such a gifted decision maker with the basketball, deadly in the pick and roll, a threat to pass, shoot, or finish inside. And how about that teardrop that he's perfected, able to finish with either hand? Just a terrific strength of his game.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Carter's checked in. The Kings have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. There's a good screen. Gay with no one around. Misses off the right iron.
And, you know, if you think about Mike Conley, some of the similarities to Tony Parker, I mean, they both present that tremendous quickness and balance between scoring and passing. Both are also terrific finishers in the paint. And look, they started at opposite ends. Parker more of a scorer, Conley more of a passer, but now I see a lot of overlap as their games have evolved.
Cousins, no one around him, cans the shot with nobody near him. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Conley kicks to Randolph. The baseline J, and it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins has got his third rebound tonight. Good. 6 points for Gay.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
The Grizzlies trail by 4. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Stolen. Collison against Lee. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Memphis. The last time these two clubs came together was also in this building, with an unfortunate ending for the home team.
And that was one of the few times that you'll see a team just lack fight defensively in losing that game.
Yeah, and I know their fans may not want to hear it, but the reality and the truth is the defensive end of the floor was not what it needed to be in terms of effort.
Clock at 6. Again, Sacramento.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Greg, they keep pulling up and watching them go down. It's a really nice thing to see.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. And no question, G.A., Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only one playoff. Only one. Count him, one. Back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he were still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
Memphis shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. First free throw is good.
And, you know, back to Rudy Gay, he's a tremendous all-around talent. Physically, instinctively, skill-wise, he's got it all. Except that consistent winning touch, that remains to be completed.
And Randolph drops them both.
And thinking more about Rudy Gay, one key number I look at from last season, his assists. By far the most in his career, and that didn't translate into a ton of wins, but it very well could have been the next step toward getting those wins.
Here's Collison. Collison with another miss.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now.
The drive by Randolph, and that one's good. 1:35 left in the first half. Collison, the pass to Bondexter. Back to Collison. Screen by Perkins. Outside Collison. Hits the front of the rim and out.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Udrich dishes to Gasol. Out to the right wing. The three from Barnes, no luck.
And it doesn't even matter that he's surrounded on that possession. He's got the size to pull those boards down anyway.
And the wide open shot from Collison. Basket made, just his second this contest. He's 2 for 7 now.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
And Udrich kicks to Gasol. Here's Barnes. It's good. This time the assist from Udrich. There's 37 seconds left in the second quarter.
And with the time left, they still can go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to do it fast. They must hurry from here.
Deep 2 from Bondexter. Barnes grabs the miss. Memphis trailing here. Allen outside. Gasol wide open. He fires. And another basket for Memphis. And here's Collison. He had 16 points in the win against Oklahoma City.
And also defensively, guys, he kept them off balance with 4 steals on the night.
Here's Allen. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
Nice shot there without a second to spare.
You know, as a defending team in that situation, it really irks you to give up a shot like that to close out the quarter. You know, oftentimes those end-of-quarter points can be the difference in a ball game.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Grizzlies lead by 2. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. For the Grizzlies, the first quarter was pretty even. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, what'd you think about the Grizzlies?
Well, quite simply, their bench showed up tonight. And when I say showed up, I'm talking about on the offensive end because they were scoring in bunches. Now, you want your reserves to just at least come in and hold the fort, but they did way more than that tonight.
Shaq, how do you think Sacramento played?
It will really help their cause to get to the line more. It's a close game. Every point matters. The team that usually wins a game like this is the more aggressive team, pushing the ball, taking it hard to the paint. That's the team that's going to get rewarded.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. It's been quite a game for Rudy Gay.
It's as if he can get to the rim any time he wants. And in that first half, he wanted to quite a bit.
And that's where his points were coming from. I mean, the defense has to do a much better job of challenging him at the rim.
Memphis leading. Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. A lot of defense with Conley and Lee in the backcourt. And it's Green in at the 3 slot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Screen by Cousins. Anderson outside. The Grizzlies pull it in. Gasol's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
And the Grizzlies played so well against all the other playoff teams. And part of it is that they just have a style that matches up well with anyone.
Collison kicks to Cousins. AC down low, working on Lee. The kick out to Collison. Hits the three-point bomb. Collison's got 7.
You know, that's the thing with the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, there isn't a team that gives them too much trouble anywhere in the league. They're good at home and on the road. They're used to playing in tight, low-scoring games, and they create that situation with their deliberate style.
The Kings trail by 4. Now a timeout called by Sacramento. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, well, I was able to listen in on the Kings head coach during that last timeout. He said their plan was to run their offense through Gay. Coach reminded them that he is supposed to be the key factor tonight, and he still wants to see that happen. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Lee gets the bucket.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
The Kings trail by 7. Clark, thinking back to when Mike Conley was drafted 4th back in the 2007 draft, 4th overall. He wasn't an instant starter, but he has gotten better every season.
Yeah, it took him a little while. I mean, he was only a freshman coming out of college back in 2007. A slow start. He had to fight for minutes, grind away. The Grizzlies kept trying to get his replacement, it appeared, but he stayed the course, and now he's their franchise point guard.
You know, you think back, the Grizzlies contemplated trading Mike Conley early on in his career, and I tell you what, aren't they glad that cooler heads prevailed? I mean, his rise has helped propel them to one of the top teams in the Western Conference.
And so he hits both.
And Mike Conley may be the best player in the NBA never to make an all-star team. I really feel it's unfair to call him underrated now, because if you go around our league, all teams respect what he's been able to do in Memphis.
Here's Green. Here's Gasol. And the rejection by Cousins. Gay outside. Off the pick. Again, the miss by the Kings.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Gasol gets to Conley. Back to Gasol. There's the feed to Conley. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Rondo kicks to Gay. Passes it to Ace. From 11 feet away. Can't hit. And it's Memphis the other way. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. And that will be the middle game of this 3-game homestand.
Michael Conley with excellent vision on that pass.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Rondo kicks to Anderson. Cousins, the pass to Anderson. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And for a long time in the NBA, the stretch 4 was kind of the anomaly and not the standard. Now it seems that you are the rare power forward if you can't hit a 3. Very few traditional power forwards now in the NBA.
With the stretch 4 and the need for shooting at the position, they don't need to be a 3-point threat, but they do need to be able to hit a mid-range jump shot.
Yeah, well said. I think you need to have guys that can make perimeter shots to create spacing. The game's evolving to a space-out-the-floor type game, and shot-making gives you a chance to do that.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Allen comes in for Wright, and it's Udrich in for Courtney Lee. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Right side, Green. He kicks to Udrich. And another basket for Memphis.
And really, this is the time to push it. Try to extend that lead.
I agree with you. I mean, anytime you can push things forward as you approach the end of the third quarter, it puts you in good position for that last quarter, which we all know is crunch time.
Rondo with a clean look knocks down the 3 ball.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
It's Gasol with the drive. Here's Green. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to go on Willie Cauley-Stein.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved a layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
And, guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for the Grizzlies?
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
The Kings making a switch here. Pondexter's checked in. He's perfect from the line this time.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
Screen by Perkins. Rondo dishes to Gay. It's stolen by Green. And now the Grizzlies fast break. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Second team foul.
And Bano Udrich, a 6'3 lefty combo guard out of Yugoslavia. And he can run the pick and roll and has really improved from mid-range. Can square up and bury it at a moment's notice.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Zach Randolph, he's checked in for Gasol. And Matt Barnes is subbed in for Mike Conley. Darren Collison, he's checked in for Sacramento. Udrich hits them both. And Udrich lacks the quickness, Clark, to stay with most point guards defensively.
Yeah, just by a step or two, and that's why he's better defending 2 guards. He does a much better job when he's matched up with 2s versus point guards. They've already picked up a number of fouls here, and they're in the penalty. Not a good sign. They need to focus on moving their feet, keeping their hands up, and defending without fouling.
1:19 left to play in the third. And for three, Collison, they grabbed their own miss. Cauley Stein's shot is good.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
And the Grizzlies leading by 8. Allen outside. And stolen by Perkins. The drive by Collison. He dishes it to Perkins. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. It's on Tony Allen.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Kendrick Perkins, at this point in his career, really more of an enforcer than anything. Last season was statistically his worst since his rookie year. Played for a couple different, actually was part of 3 different teams, and ended up in Cleveland after beginning in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and, you know, at this stage, what he gives you now, he's really a space eater down low. Still a terrific screener in the pick and roll or in terms of executing of the offense. And when the game gets physical, that tends to lead to him finding a way to make an impact.
Enforcer's a good term to
I like
use.
that
Yeah,
one, Kevin.
I do too.
I like that one.
Here's Barnes. Nice shot from the wing. Barnes has got 6. The Kings trail by 7. Gay left side. Great D that time from Green.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Grizzlies out in front. They lead by 7. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. And the final period of play just about to start. The Kings trail by 7. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the floor for Sacramento, Quincy Acey out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Rudy Gay. Then there's James Anderson. And it's Rondo in at the point guard position.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
Allen's shot is off. Here's Sacramento. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. That'll be the second on the road in the midst of this long 4-game road stand. The drive by Cousins. Plays it up and banks it in.
That's a brain freeze right there from the entire defense. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
Lee kicks to Gasol. Pass to Conley. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Some good play from Conley in this one. He's got 10 points, and he's picked up 6 points from behind the arc.
I love the rhythm his outside stroke has produced today.
First one falls for him. He doesn't get the second one.
And even though he couldn't get all of them to fall, he did make it a 2-possession game.
They set the pick. The drive by Gay. Here's Cousins. Banked in off the glass.
And you can just see by the way he fought for the putback that he still got a lot of gas in the tank.
You know, when you look at DeMarcus Cousins, he's clearly one of the more talented and also one of the most emotional players in the game. He's also one of the most teed up.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Thanks, Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Dave Yeager coaching his team during that break. He tried to really fire them up to bring it home, saying, all night, you have all night to rest after the final buzzer. For now, we have to lay it on the line and try to bring it home. Guys, back to you.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. To tie it up. Hit some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Cousins has got the game tied up here for Sacramento. Yeah, talking about Cousins' top 5 in technical fouls in each of his first 5 seasons. Among other things, that's given away a ton of free points, guys, to the opposition.
Yeah, DeMarcus is working hard to control that temper, and he knows it's important for the team. But it's hard to plug a volcano.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Sacramento.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
And guys, I think you've got to give them credit for the number of steals they've taken away. I mean, a lot of effort on the defense from them tonight.
The drive by Gay uses both hands to slam it down.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Man, I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas. And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
Screen by Cousins. Shot clock at 6. Lots of room. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Rondo's got 3 assists now in this one. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Lee outside. Again, the miss by Lee.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
Allen against Rondo. Screen by Cousins. Anderson passes to Ace. Terrific design on the pick one, and he lays it in. Now it's a 6-point Kings lead.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
My, he is so adept at finishing in the low post.
Timeout called by the Kings. They're leading by 4. 1:56 left in the fourth quarter. Green, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. And the Kings also making a change. Collison's out there. .156 left to play in the final quarter. Anderson, shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. Anderson's got the lead up to 6 now for Sacramento. And stolen by Cousins. Collison against Conley. Pass to Cousins. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Excellent game we've seen from DeMarcus Cousins. 8 rebounds, and he's blocked a shot today as well.
And he's clearly showing off his smarts in a few ways today. That block just being one of them. It's just a savvy basketball player.
They're really doing a good job working hard to get inside and draw contact, a little more so than they did in the first half.
And defensively, if you're trying to battle back, you can't keep sending them to the line.
And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good.
Of course, he didn't have an attempt there in the first half. He's hoping to be a little bit more active and aggressive here and draw some fouls here in the second.
Allen's shot is off. They can take their time on this possession.
You know, guys, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, it gives themselves a little break, too.
Catch their breath, you're right. Kicks it to Gay. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Two shots. Two shots.
Gets the first, and that stretches their lead to 8. And so he drops them both. It's a 9-point ball game here. 1:09 left in the fourth quarter. It's Allen with the drive. Gasol dishes to Allen. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on it.
And here are the Kings now. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. To the middle. Here's Gay. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. And the Kings lead by 9. And so here's Memphis. Conley kicks to Allen. Shoots a 3. And he gets it to go. 41 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Anderson passes to Collison. There's the screen. Can't hit. Good work defensively by Conley.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Well, we've seen him before. He does not allow you to just get easy baskets. He's always going to make you work for it.
Fantastic bomb there, just especially against the taller defender.
Clutch shooting, determination, and plenty of skill, too.
First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
And thanks to his good work at the line there, now we have a 2-possession ball game.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. They're behind by 5. 23 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
Yeah, coaches tell them take the easy points in a hurry and then foul as soon as possible.
Yeah, but you don't want to foul blindly, though. I think teams make mistakes when they do that. Go for the steal. See if you can force a mistake. And then see what happens after that.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
The first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And he does get the second one. And that gives them a 4-point cushion. Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're behind by 4. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, and not only do you want to draw up a score here, but it's got to be a quick one.
Yeah, it has to be quick. They've got to convert, and then there has to be an immediate foul.
He feeds it to Green. Dishes it to Gasol, and there's the 3-second violation.
I mean, you've got to have more awareness on the floor and not make those kinds of errors.
Yeah, brain fade, brain neutral error, and those will cost you.
They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, you got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
And so both free throws are good, and it's a 6-point ball game.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're losing by 6. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
And they still got a little time to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul could make things interesting.
Yeah, but they need some help. They're going to need some help any way you look at it. I mean, they're hoping for some missed free throws at the other end.
It falls! And now they trail by just 4.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible.
At the line for the Grizzlies, Darren Colson taking 2 shots.
He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Allen. Count it!
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
At the line for the Grizzlies, Rudy Gay taking 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. 3-pointer, no good. So the Kings win it. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And, Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, DeMarcus, congratulations on the win tonight. We know you're a very intense player, but tonight you certainly seem to be having a lot of fun out there.
That's the thing. I'm just trying to come out here and have fun. I got a lot going for myself, and I'm too blessed to be out here frowning all the time. So I'm going to try to keep a smile on my face.
We love to see you smile, DeMarcus. Thanks for the time. Guys?
Doris, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan player of the game, DeMarcus Cousins. The fourth quarter was all him. It was like he couldn't miss, and it was just one basket after another.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
The thing I like most about Cousins is the passion he plays the game with. Maybe he rubs some people the wrong way, but I don't want my big man smiling all the time. I want my big man to be mean.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it's the Memphis Grizzlies as they'll be playing against the Utah Jazz. For the Jazz, they come into tonight's game after a loss to the Raptors. They got caught flat-footed, lost a game they felt should have been theirs. Looking to turn the page here. And guys, still some time left till tip-off. Let's talk scoring. Kenny, how did you look to establish yourself at that end of the floor, and when did you know you were in for a big night?
Well, for me, it was just about getting the basketball in the right areas of the floor, either off the dribble or off the pass. So if I knew if I got to certain areas of the floor, I was going to be able to score and have a big night. The defense tried to dictate that, but you have to try to dictate it and overpower that mentally.
Well, I wanted to go out and average 28-10. So 28 divided by 4 quarters, 7 points a quarter. My goal was to be on the attack, try to get to the rim every time, hit as many free throws as I could. And if I had double digits after the first quarter, it's over. The diesel will come. It smells blood.
So just 7 points a quarter. That's all you were looking for.
Yes.
And how many rebounds per quarter were you looking for?
4.
But that gives you 16 rebounds instead of 10.
I smell blood, Ernie.
I'm going to change the subject. That's it
off.
for now. Thanks for tuning in.
Shack it off.
Leave me alone. Hands off. Kenny, help.
Help!
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The crowd is assembled here at the FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis, Tennessee, looking for a Grizzlies victory. The Utah Jazz come into this one following a loss to the Raptors in Toronto. And that was a real body blow for them. They got taken apart both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, they just caught a team, Kevin, that was in a zone, and they didn't have the manpower defensively to disrupt them.
Hey, zone or no zone, I expected a little more fight out of them than what they showed. I mean, they never strung together any stops like they needed to.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Livingston is out there with Hood, and it's Hayward in at the 3 spot.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
So the Memphis Grizzlies able to put the first points up on the board. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing.
You know, as I watched Derek Favors last season, he continued to develop his offense. He was a big, unpolished athlete coming into the league, had some conditioning problems, but now it seems like he's on track to be a force as a power forward.
And that one falls for Favors. Talking about Derek Favors, his points per game average went up last season, as it has done in each of his 6 seasons in the league. He's an ascending player.
He is, you know, definitely refined his moves down on the blocks, and he's also become much improved at passing out of the double team, averaging a career high in assists last season as well. The arrow is certainly pointing up for Mr. Favors.
Now here's Randolph. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Some solid numbers once again for Zach Randolph with Memphis last year. He just keeps plugging away, grinding out, no pun intended, chugging along and producing.
Yeah, 16 points, about 10.5 rebounds for Zebo. I mean, he's a classic power forward and always gives you the numbers, even though he still plays under the rim.
And the first one drops.
And, you know, for Randolph, he's been in the league so long and still puts up double-double numbers. Averaged a double-double in 8 of his last 10 seasons. Remarkable.
And Zach Randolph drops them both.
And for Zach Randolph, at his experience level, to put up 15 and 10 or better, the last player to do that back in 1999. So it's a rare feat. Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Now here's Gasol. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. And it's Lee penetrating. Look at that jam. Beautiful.
And guys, he saw his chance to earn a little camera time there and took it.
Rocking the rim with some major force.
Lazy defense there, though, fellas. Somebody's got to be willing to put their body on the line and try to impede his path there.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Here is Livingston, following the score by Memphis. Back to Hayward, just 5 to shoot. The tray, and it's good, assisting on the play with Livingston. Hayward's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Utah's on defense. Lee dishes to Gasol, pass to Green, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Utah with the ball, following the score by Memphis. Gobert, the screen. There's a screen. Livingston kicks to Hayward. Misses the three.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that. And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
Here's Favors. Tries yet again. He lays it in.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
Now here's Conley. His last outing, 16 points for him. Green kicks to Gasol. And stolen by Favors. Here's Hayward. The shot is off. Great D that time from Green. Grizzlies have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Gobert with the block. Here is Livingston. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Doubled by Lee. A shot by Hayward, wide open. And it's good, assisting on the play with Livingston. And that's now 6 points for Gordon Hayward. Conley kicks to Lee. Here's Gasol, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finish hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one.
Doris Burke had a chance to catch up with head coach Quinn Snyder. Doris, what do you have to say?
On his mind, the difficult task of defending Zach Randolph. He said, Randolph's especially tough because he's not only a go-to scorer on the low block and the pinch post, but also a guy who can pick up a lot of second-chance points with his work on the glass. He's a 20-10 double-double guy for a reason. We'll have our hands full trying to slow him down. Guys, back to you.
Thanks again, Doris. Conley's shot is off. And in an era where so many guys take the money and run, Gordon Hayward did the best he could to live up to his new contract. Clark last year, a 4-year max deal signed heading into last season.
Yeah, and the way max contracts work nowadays, even the upper mid-tier guys are getting them. A trend that will probably continue, at least in the near future. I don't like it, though. There are only a small number of guys that are really max contract players in the NBA.
Now Gasol. After Gordon Hayward's three-pointer, they didn't go. Good. Lee's got 5 points so far.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz.
Hey guys, Courtney Lee, now having completed 7 full seasons, very much was entering the league, a 3-and-D prototype who will most likely never be a plus playmaker.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Brandon Wright's checked in for Randolph. Barnes comes in for Green. Tony Allen's checked in for Lee. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Allen passes to Gasol. Uses both.
Oh, good D, but better O. It's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well said. Well, for the most part, they were just standing still, Clark.
And you know what, Kevin? He's not the most explosive player on the court, but if you give him a clear lane to the basket, he'll punch it on you.
Here's Booker. The Grizzlies making the shot. And he gets the bucket. Booker's got his second basket. Talking about Courtney Lee, you know the ball handling and court vision are suspect, but you don't care because he's provided solid defense on the wing, Clark, and he's hit over 40% of his threes last year.
And he's also one of the best free throw shooting 2 guards in the league, Kevin. And last year he and Conley were out of sight at the end of games. That's a wonderful combo to have, 2 great free throw shooting guards.
Good. And that's now 6 points for Marc Gasol.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
Now here's Burke. He's guarded by Udrich. Hayward goes in. Some solid defense from Gasol. Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. It's the Jazz. They lead by 1. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. Well, we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And guys, what's your take on Utah so far?
Really, it's always a positive when you can get some impact off your bench.
Always nice to have firepower coming from the reserves, and they've had firepower and then some so far.
Memphis trailing here. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So on the floor for Memphis. Udrich out there with Allen. Then it's Brandon Wright. And it's Marc Gasol. And it's Barnes. And at the 3, the small forward. Here's Burke following the basket by Marc Gasol. Hayward goes in. Here's Booker. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a 3-point play. They get Marc Gasol.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
Some changes for Memphis. Green comes in for Marc Gasol. And it's Conley in for Barnes. Utah also making some changes. Derek Favors checked in for Lyles, and Hood subbed in for Gordon Hayward. Now here's Wright. Allen. Rebounded by Hood.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Dishes it to Booker. And it's Exum in the corner. Hits it from three-point range. Exum's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The Grizzlies trail by 5. Conley dishes to Allen. Feeds to Green. The rebound by the Jazz. Here's Hood. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Conley. Well, when you think about perimeter defense, to me, Clark, it's Tony Allen. He is the poster boy for that. He'll go out of his way to remind you he's a first-team all-defensive player as well. He can back up everything he says.
Yeah, and nobody works harder. I mean, he gets up into you, even on the ball.
He's with another miss. Exum kicks to Booker. Favors with the screen. Here's Burke. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump. Jack Randolph is checked in for the Grizzlies. Lee comes in for Beno Udrich. The Jazz also changing it up. Gobert comes in for Booker. And it's Livingston in for Burke. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Conley kicks to Green. Shot to stop the run. That one a little long.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Livingston passes to Favors. Took the opportunity when he saw it. And now it's a 9-point Jazz lead. Memphis has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Conley dishes to Randolph. Rebound, Utah. Hood's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, energy has been the difference, and they're fighting for every loose ball and giving as good as they get on the inside. And you know what? They've been on a nice run here, had the ability to widen the gap. Now they are rolling.
Yeah, backbreaking run, really exposing the weaknesses in their defense.
Conley inside the line. Nice shot from the wing. Here is Livingston. Favors with a screen on Conley. Livingston kicks to Favors. And he converts the layup. Favors got the lead up to 11 now for Utah.
That's what they're hanging their hat on today, fellas. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth play down on the low block.
Old-fashioned, isn't it, my man? Old-fashioned, pound-the-rock basketball, and it is definitely working for them.
Utah has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Livingston kicks to Hood. The 3. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Livingston. Livingston's got 4 assists in the game.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush. No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
No good from Lee.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Hood can't get it to go.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Lee passes to Conley. Lets it go from the wing. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Jazz.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Marc Gasol is checked in for Randolph. White comes in for Green. Matt Barnes is checked in for Allen. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley.
And, guys, as many rookies do, Rodney Hood hit some major bumps in the road last season. I mean, he came in with a reputation of having an NBA-ready jumper, yet only hit 41% of his shots. He had that foot injury that kept him out for a string of games. However, it really all came together for him in April, the last month of the season.
Utah with the ball. The Grizzlies making the shot. Here's Wiles. Udrich grabs the board.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
It's good, and the Jazz lose. Cut down now to just 6 on the basket from Lee.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
Here's the screen. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Not really necessary with nobody on you. I mean, why put yourself off balance on that shot when you're wide open?
Personal foul. First team foul.
The Grizzlies shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
2 shots.
Free throw good, Udrih. Udrih hits them both.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Here's Burke. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Jazz lead by 4. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break down the first half action for you. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. Their field goal percentage was a robust 50% in the period. That's something they can hang their hat on. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
Well, the three-point shooting was the key thus far. When you're knocking down those shots from the perimeter, it really spreads the floor. You demand respect from the defense. We'll see if they can keep it flowing in the second half.
And, Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
They were really efficient, great approach offensively. Their shot selection was first rate. They were always working hard to get good looks. That can't change in the second half. They need to be just as well organized as they have been so far.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
You know Gasol is playing well. 10 points, and he hasn't forgotten to get his teammates involved either.
And he's conscious, I think, Clark, of good ball movement. It needs to be a part of their game plan throughout.
The Grizzlies trail by 4, so on the floor for Utah. The forwards are Hayward and Favors. Hood out there with Livingston, and it's Gobert in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Gobert with the block. In the corner, it's Hayward. No good with the triple. Hayward's gone 2 for 8, shooting just 25% from the field. Lee dishes to Green. Outside Conley. A three-pointer is right on target. Conley's got the first basket of the third quarter for Memphis.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
Looking at Memphis, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Kings.
And in part because I just thought they came out flat in that game and could never recover. Just not their best effort.
And I thought perhaps they might get an injection of life from somebody off the bench, but that never happened either.
Here is Livingston following the score by Memphis. Favors with a screen on Lee. Hood kicks to Livingston. Favors with the screen. Gobert the pass to Hood. Clock at 6. Gobert with it. He's picked up by Lee. Hayward goes in. And it's Hayward again missing.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
Here is Livingston. Gobert the screen. Now the feed to Hood. And the 3 off target.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Right side Green. Gasol setting the pick for Green. Here's Randolph. No good off the back of the rim. And to nobody's surprise, Zach Randolph enjoyed an outstanding season, Clark, in 14-15.
And, you know, ironically, by taking more of a backseat to front court make Marc Gasol, Randolph played better, the best rebound rate of his career. He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
And for the Grizzlies, they had to be encouraged by Randolph's play after signing him to that extension. I mean, he's been set back by the knee injury, but he came back in a big way.
Tony Allen's checked in for Memphis. And a switcher also for Utah. Exum, he's checked in for Hood. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Allen outside. Boom, he jams it straight down. So it's the Jazz now.
And Randolph happy to be back in Memphis. He said, this is home. This is where I belong. And look, he's helped establish this team as a power in the Western Conference. And for me, this is the right place for him to be.
So it's the Grizzlies now. After the basket by Utah. Nobody near Allen. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. Jazz leading by 3. Hayward with the ball. Now Green defending. Hayward goes in. Can't get it to go. Now the Grizzlies take it the other way.
He continues to struggle from the field. But luckily for him and his team, his teammates have been able to pick him up and get the job done.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
A different look for Utah. Lyles checked in for Gobert. Trevor Booker comes in for Derek Favors. And it's Burke in for Sean Livingston. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Again, Allen missing.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
The Grizzlies trail by 3. From 13. And finished off by Gasol.
And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent MGA from converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to 1 or 2 plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays.
Here's Burke. The Grizzlies making the shot. Here's Booker. Here's Lyles. Makes it off the glass. Lyles got his first points of the night.
You don't need much range to hit from that distance, Kevin.
On the wing, Green. Here's Randolph. Randolph missing again. Jazz leading by 3. The pass to Lyles. Over to the wing. Here's Burke. Sinks the triple. Burke's got his second bucket tonight.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot the D can afford to give him.
Jeff Green on the wing. That's tipped. Hayward against Conley. Hayward goes in. Exum with a wide open look. And the Jazz another 3.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak.
Allen right side. Looking to end the run. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
Tony Allen. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. Some changes for Memphis. Brandon Wright's checked in for Randolph. Barnes comes in for Green. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. And a switcher also for Utah. Josh McRoberts is checked in for Lyles. So he comes up empty at the line. Utah leading by 9. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Hayward kicks to Exum. Back to Hayward. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. The Jazz shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. Free throw drops for Hayward. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Tony Allen. Hayward hits them both. The Grizzlies trail by 11. Udrih dishes to Lee. Here's Wright. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
And that's his go-to move right there in the low post.
And here is Burke. There's the pick. Three-pointer. Hayward cannot hit. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. Jazz out in front. They lead by 9. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. And the final period of play just about to start. Jazz leading by 9. Matt Barnes is out there with Wright. Then it's Lee, then it's Udrih, and it's Gasol. And at the 5. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
That drops.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Utah's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13. Here is Livingston, and he gets the bucket. And the Jazz lead by 11.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Udrih, the pass to Gasol. He dishes it to Udrih. Right inside. Nick Roberts on him, and that'll be Memphis as it goes out of bounds. Grizzlies retain possession. And the Jazz making a change here. Favors is checked in. When you think about Sean Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken part 4th back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
Lee left side. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Gasol. He's off from 17 feet.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for Utah?
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they've defended the rim, as they've challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
And stolen by Wright. And now the Grizzlies, fast break. That's good from Barnes on the assist by Udrih.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Utah timeout called.
Utah calls timeout. Clark, Brandon Wright was moving all over the league last year, all over the map, traded twice, once from Dallas to Boston, then again sent to Phoenix where he finished up the season.
Kevin, he was only with Boston for 8 games after the trade. He seemed to find a better home when he was with Phoenix.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder was saying to his team. His advice clear-cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose. I don't care what the lead is. We do not back off.
Thank you, Doris. Hood can't get it to go.
And for Wright, being traded twice, he's one of those players that is so efficient, but in small doses. So really the ultimate bitch guy to come in and give you minutes in the post.
Here is Livingston. Michael Conley making his last shot. From deep. The Jazz with another miss. The Grizzlies trail by 11. It's stolen by Gobert. Favors attacking. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one.
You know, I think that will ultimately be Wright's role going forward. A great bench option. Despite all the trades, last year he was still extremely efficient as a scorer.
Here is Livingston. Pass to Hood. There's the dish to Livingston. Favors with the screen. Pass to Hayward. Lets it go from deep. Utah the rebound. And Gobert kicks to Favors. Here's Livingston. Second chance shot. And Favors finishes it off.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Allen outside. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. That's 7 points for Allen.
They didn't get a chance to knock one down in the first, but the defense left him a look, and he nailed it. He'll make them pay when he's open.
Livingston kicks to Hayward. And he finishes nicely on the layup. And the Jazz lead by 10.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
To the inside, Gasol. Gobert with the block. They get it back, and he gets it to go. 6 points for Zach Randolph. Jazz have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Kicks to Hayward. The 10-footer. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Wow, I'm surprised he took that shot, but he has a huge size disadvantage in that matchup. But tremendous job to knock that one down.
Here's Randolph, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
Exum is checked in for Utah. Free throw good, Randolph. 1:37 left to play here in the fourth. Exum with it. Favors with the screen. Exum's shot is off. Now the Grizzlies with it. They're on a 14-6 run. And with that, the Jazz lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Randolph.
And they definitely have the edge in those fast break points.
Greg, they sure have. I mean, maybe it hasn't helped put them in front, but they're clearly better off playing up-tempo basketball.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Looking at the game for Hayward, 12 points, and he's hit the mark twice from three-point range as well.
And Clark, it's no stretch to say the more points he gives them from beyond the arc, the better off they'll be.
All right, now, take a break, 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. Second one is good. Going both at the line, and it's a 7-point game.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime? Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship. It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's cost him.
Now, here's Exum. He's tightly guarded. Stolen by Randolph.
Well, the clock has become their worst enemy.
Not a friend anymore. They've got to work quickly from here.
And Kevin, maybe the play of the game right there.
A tremendous instincts grade to come up with a steal and then attack the basket.
Game changer right there, guys. An unbelievable play to make it this stage of a really tight ball game.
Shooting from Memphis, Antdogg Exum, taking 2 shots.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he can't make the second free throw either. Missing both. Green dishes to Conley. Utah with the rebound.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Hayward against Green. Now Hayward. 5 to shoot. Favors with the screen. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Yeah, but Greg, they didn't really have another option. I mean, I thought they did a nice job getting it in his hands and making sure he was the guy who'd go to the line.
And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Here's Allen. Got a piece of it. And that's an intentional foul.
Zach Randolph, that's his 3rd personal foul. Shooting from Memphis.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in. Barnes passes to Allen. Trains it from downtown.
3 points.
And so it's Utah who scraped by with the win. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Derek, you guys came into tonight's game following a tough loss last time out. How important was it for the team to get this game here tonight?
It's big for us. You know, we came out last game and play like bombs, basically. So we just want to come in and make a statement this game so that we working hard, improving, and just try to get a win.
Well, terrific bounce back, Derek. Thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. Now time to send you over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, thank you. So why don't we take a look now at our Jordan player of the game?
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
Well, his passing, his instincts on all.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.